The responsibility for this household. I do all the cooking, I do all the cleaning, and I make sure Zoe.
Caregiver, patient.
Are they done?
Start losing weight.
Penny done very well. She lost 40 pounds and heroin. We're gonna see. But if you don't do that, it's only gonna buy you a short amount of time before you continue to gain or stress yourself. It's one thing, keep him from eating a lot at one time. You still can eat all day and he can psychologically and cooperate and become a person that wants to get well.
Number 3. Unhealthy eating patterns. Bethany is notorious for her unhealthy eating habits and the burden she places on her children. She relies on her kids, particularly her daughter Isabella, to prepare all her meals while she contributes nothing. Isabella not only has to cook for her mother, but also clean up after her. Bethany's eating routine is no secret and it's concerning. She starts her morning with a honey bun and a muffin, followed by a hefty breakfast of scrambled eggs, toast, and multiple egg sandwiches with butter and jelly.
What do you want for breakfast?
I'm gonna start with like a honey bun and a muffin, and then if you'll make me... Isabella?
Yeah?
I wanna have something to eat while you're making breakfast.
I will do anything for her, no matter what. Are you ready for school?
Can you help me put my socks on?
She just tended to stay away a lot, so I had to take care of her.
Just so anxious. And there has to be a way.
Lose the weight and become healthy and become a human again.
She even demands snacks while her daughter is busy cooking. Her husband Sheldon goes out of his way to bring her additional meals during his lunch break, just so she can continue eating. Most of Bethany's time is spent lounging on the recliner, and she always gets her way with the justification of if Mama wants, Mama gets. While they occasionally eat together as a family, Bethany prefers to eat alone. To satisfy her insatiable appetite, her slim husband occasionally delivers a large-sized McDonald's meal, which she pairs with an excessive amount of ketchup, repeating this routine multiple times a week. The supermarket holds a special place in Bethany's heart, and she frequents it 3 times a week to stock up on food. However, her weight has reached a point where she can no longer exit the car and has to rely on others to fetch the groceries for her. Bethany's reliance on food as a source of comfort began at the young age of 12, and since then, she's been unable to break free from its grip. A single meal for her consists of devouring an entire delivery pizza with an excessive amount of Texas toast. This is just one example of her eating habits. When Bethany's anxiety escalates, she turns to food for solace. She finds herself heading to the drive-thru, indulging in burgers, chicken, french fries, and large sodas. And even moments later, she returns for another round of fast food, consuming yet another giant burger, more fries, and even more soda.
Tell me what's wrong with your eating habit.
I eat all the time. I eat all day long.
Well, what you're telling me is you know you're doing something wrong, but you keep doing it.
I keep doing it, and I want to eat.
So you have anxiety, you eat, you feel better,
I mean, it's just kind
and you convince yourself that you're anxious and you should eat. That's not gonna work.
my husband, Zoe, and then I have another daughter, Isabella, who's 18. She couldn't,
Some of that struggle too.
yes.
But your husband doesn't seem to have a weight problem.
No, he,
And change for your whole family. Then it needs to start with you, and it needs to start now.
okay.
And then I want you to pay attention for the calorie content of what you're eating, and also I want you to pay
In moments of emotional vulnerability, Bethany finds herself crying in a hotel room while eating, clinging to the hope that tomorrow will bring a better day. She's determined to make it to Houston to see Dr. Now, believing that he can provide the help she desperately needs.
You're not going to make it. So you have a very important choice to make. Whether you want to turn your life.
I guess,
So you need to keep going to those appointments and do what you need to do. Some biopsy in your stomach and see how things are. Because with how fast you're getting after surgery, I'm very and took control for a few months until you got weight loss surgery, and then your emotional issue before it's too late. You got that?
yep.
But before you go back home, I want to do an endoscopy and see if everything is okay with that, okay?
Okay,
And we'll see what's going on with your stomach.
okay.
Okay? We'll set you up for a day.
Number 2. Weight-related challenges. Chuck's relationship with his son has been severely impacted by the weight he carries. As a loving father, he yearns to engage in outdoor activities and playful moments with his son, creating cherished memories that will last a lifetime. Unfortunately, his excessive weight prevents him from fully participating in these experiences. Chuck can only endure a few fleeting seconds of playtime before becoming completely winded, forcing him to halt all activities. This situation is disheartening for both Chuck and his son, as they're unable to enjoy the typical bonding moments that many fathers and sons take for granted. The inability to actively engage in his son's life affects Chuck on an emotional level, leaving him with an overwhelming sense of disappointment and regret. Chuck's weight struggles have also taken a toll on his marriage, dramatically altering the dynamics of his relationship with his wife. The once vibrant intimacy they shared has dwindled, giving way to a caregiver-patient dynamic. Physical intimacy becomes increasingly challenging, while the emotional connection they once enjoyed becomes strained.
An order of eggs and an order of bacon.
Very shy and didn't want to get out of the truck and introduce himself properly because of his size. And I didn't want to judge him for his weight.
Honey,
Yes, ma'am.
are you?
It was real good the first time meeting.
Give him a chance because I felt that all my relationships I felt had failed because of my weight.
Hey, baby, will you come get the phone for me?
Even being there is much harder.
Putting a lot of strain on my wife.
Chuck's wife finds herself burdened with the responsibilities of taking care of both Chuck and their son, often feeling as if she is more of a servant than a partner. In essence, she is left to raise two children, with one of them being a fully grown adult. The emotional and physical strain this places on Chuck's wife is immense, adding further complexity to their already fragile relationship. The lack of intimacy and the role reversal they experience contribute to a deep sense of unhappiness and dissatisfaction within their marriage. Despite recognizing the urgent need to shed his excess weight, Chuck falls into the trap of seeking quick fixes, contemplating the option of gastric bypass surgery. However, his misconception is swiftly dispelled by Dr. Now, the renowned weight loss doctor. Dr. Now stresses that the surgery alone will not yield lasting results. He emphasizes the importance of addressing Chuck's underlying eating habits and his overall relationship with food. Chuck nods in agreement, initially showing commitment to following Dr. Now's instructions.
At what kind of eating disorder we got now to solve the problem. You think that's going to work? As you get grasp on that, gastric bypass is not going to be productive due to your eating habit.
If you eat more than you need, it's going to make you hurt.
Even long term.
And I'll do what you tell me to do. I'm ready.
You need to lose some weight.
However, even before Dr. Now leaves the room, Chuck is already making excuses for his next indulgent meal, justifying it as a final farewell before embarking on his weight loss journey. This behavior serves as a poignant example of Chuck's lack of self-control and his tendency to use food as a coping mechanism. His cravings and propensity for overeating pose significant challenges that he must overcome to achieve successful weight loss. Although Chuck exhibits initial enthusiasm and claims to be ready to do whatever it takes to shed his excess weight, his actions often contradict his words. While he acknowledges the negative impacts his weight has on his life, he finds it arduous to resist the allure of overindulging in food. Chuck finds himself caught in a cycle of disappointment and frustration, despising his own existence and constantly feeling miserable due to the physical discomfort brought about by his excess weight. However, his addiction to overeating continues to hinder his progress. The sincerity of Chuck's commitment to change becomes questionable, as he repeatedly succumbs to the temptation of consuming copious amounts of food. His inability to control his cravings not only jeopardizes his weight loss journey, but also puts his life and relationships at further risk, presenting a significant hurdle that he must overcome.
Let's get britches on. Oh, honey.
I just feel like a servant.
I was a dead man, so I'd been trying to lose weight since all that night, and it's really changed me.
Number 1. Extreme food preferences. Penny Sager's eating patterns were characterized by highly unhealthy choices, playing a substantial role in her struggle with obesity. She had developed a notorious reputation for consuming excessive amounts of junk food and sugary beverages on a regular basis. Her daily diet revolved around calorie-dense, high-fat and sugar-laden foods, such as chips, soda, candy, cookies, cakes, and fried delicacies. Penny's eating habits reached such extreme levels that she often dispatched her husband Edgar to fetch large quantities of junk food and sugary drinks. Her grocery list regularly consisted of items like chips, soda, candy, and other unhealthy snacks. Despite harboring genuine concerns for her well-being, Edgar would reluctantly comply with her requests, driven by his love for Penny and the desire to avoid upsetting her.
It's like the last minute. We have to be in the vehicles in like no time. I'm going to be in the back of a van, actually on my house.
Crispy or grilled? Crispy or grilled?
Crispy.
Grilled?
Crispy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Losing weight anymore. Penny must have somebody sneaking their food. She figured out how to manipulate psychologically and cooperate and become a person that wants to get well.
Penny's insatiable appetite extended beyond just mealtime indulgences. She would incessantly snack throughout the day, even resorting to eating in bed, perpetuating her sedentary lifestyle. Her food addiction had grown so severe that she would clandestinely stash snacks within her sleeping area, eliminating the need to get up and fetch them from the kitchen. Although Penny was enrolled in a stringent weight loss program with a prescribed diet plan, she struggled to exert control over her eating habits. She became notorious for surreptitiously consuming additional food and persuading the nurses to provide her with junk food, all at the expense of her health. This lack of discipline and commitment to the program proved detrimental to her weight loss efforts, ultimately leading to her decision to withdraw from the show. Penny's eating habits served as a significant catalyst for her obesity and associated health problems. Her addiction to junk food and sugary drinks, coupled with a sedentary lifestyle, posed substantial barriers to her weight loss journey and hindered her ability to regain control of her overall well-being. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.